Right down there is the Mont Royal Tunnel, which will lead to the West Island eventually, here on the REM, hopefully by this time next year. And yeah, good evening everybody. So it is right now Sunday, January 19th, 2025, 7:52 p.m. Eastern Canadian time. And I don't think I've actually done a REM ride yet this year, as we are now 19 days into the year 2025, and it's pretty hard to film REM rides right now in the winter, and the reason is quite simple, because the windows on the REM are full of debris and gunk, salt. Most of that's probably from the Samuel du Champlain Bridge, as that's where the REM comes into the most contact with the road network. But we'll see if we can film a little bit of video outside the side windows tonight here on the REM. I got my trusty evening pass here, so I'll probably go right to Brossard, or maybe Panama, or maybe somewhere in between. So REM should be arriving in about 5 minutes from now. And because it is the weekend, it will be the 2-wagon REM train. So now we'll wait for it, and should be here momentarily. Alright, so it looks like the train is arriving now, and it is already on the right track, no pun intended, which means that when we do depart Central Station, going towards the South Shore, we'll be going on to the opposite track. So who knows, maybe the windows will be a bit cleaner tonight. The windshield and side windows are not usually too bad, but we'll wait and see here. It's always cool, these windows that they put here, so you can see the train approaching from the distance. And as I mentioned in the previous clip, because it is the weekend, it's the 2-wagon REM train variety. That windshield looks a lot better tonight, actually. We'll have to check it out here. So we'll get into the second wagon here, or first wagon technically.
N'oubliez pas vos effets personnels.
Yeah, windshield looks more suitable now to film a ride through, so that'll be good news. Light just turned white, so should be departing momentarily. Here on the South Shore branch. And speaking of REM progress on the West Island, apparently they're increasing the testing frequency to every 5 minutes. According to Felix, a fellow YouTuber, transit fan. So should be departing within 1 minute here. Maybe I'll do a mix of side windows and the front windows for this video. Still waiting to film a REM ride during a really intense snowstorm.
Bienvenue à bord du REM. Direction A1, Brossard. Prochaine station, Île des Sœurs.
And of course you want to film these evening rides on the REM, because I'm not going to go into details. I'll put a link in my video description, but because of the West Island being connected to this branch, they're going to be shutting the REM down early certain nights, and eventually in summer 4 to 6 weeks. So every day. So film a couple of rides here while I have the chance. So it should be interesting, of course, once the entire network is open. Just think how noisy this section was a couple of years ago before they did some sound dampening work on this part of the line. Much more quieter. So it looks like they installed a new navigation light on those towers down there. You got that bright, flashing, pulsating light. Didn't notice that last year. In the middle of that power pylon, that flashing bright white light, pulsating. There's the new Hydro-Quebec substation to our left. Yeah, it's definitely a power pylon with that light on it. Wondering what the reason is that they put that there. Maybe there's more low altitude air traffic or something around here. Maybe they updated the regulations for lights on towers, modernized them. And interestingly enough, that one looked empty, so I don't know, maybe that one's out of service.
Dernière station avant d'atteindre la zone tarifaire B. Vous devez détenir un titre de transport, tout mode AB, tout mode ABC, tout mode ABCD, ou un des titres de bus spéciaux liés au REM, pour continuer vers les stations de la rive sud.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard that on the REM before. That's the announcement they usually make on the metro, advising people about the zone AB. So that's new. Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of these lights here, but I guess they are a safety feature. And of course there's the Via Rail Maintenance Center to our right. So yeah, the windshield's a lot better than it was the other night, but still not perfect. Yeah, so that's definitely a new announcement for the REM. That's an announcement that has been on the metro for the longest time now, since the fare structures have been reformed, going on about a year or two now. So maybe the light on the bridge, the lights will be illuminated. Let's take a look. Hard to tell They were lit up. I think when we were going around the corner, I noticed they were illuminated, but looks like the mega structure is not illuminated. I guess we'll find out once we cross. And there's, of course, Ile des Sœurs, also known as Nuns Island in English.
Looks like we're going on the right-hand side.
So, be curious what the skyline is going to look like in 10-15 years from now. I've always said they should have kept this place as a big, huge park. That would have been amazing.
Station Ile des Sœurs.
Keep in mind, for the windshield being dirty, they'd only wash them overnight, so it's only when they're out of service they get washed once, as far as I know. That's why they get dirty so often. Yeah, it doesn't look like the superstructure is lit up on the bridge tonight. Sunday nights are pretty nice for filming transit videos. Usually quiet, peaceful. The only problem is, the only downside is frequency. It's not that high. Yeah, so looks like the bridge isn't really illuminated, even the superstructure tower. Maybe we'll film out the side window for a bit here, change it up a bit. There you can see, facing east. Haven't walked the pedestrian path in a while on the bridge. Probably a bit too cold tonight to do that. Maybe I'll do it in the spring. So there's that light that's flashing on that white pylon down there. You can see it to the left of the screen. Only seems to be one. All the other pylons seem to have red lights on them, which is kind of cool. Go to the other end of the train, change it up a bit. There's the superstructure, we're just passing under it now. It looks like it's slightly illuminated. Oh yeah, it's illuminated. I know in the spring, usually around April, May, it's really beautiful when they start to change the lighting to help the birds navigate. Yeah, river's completely frozen now. Temperatures are definitely more seasonal, and they will be this coming week as we have cold front moving in, minus 37 degrees Celsius with the wind sometime this week. Wish there was a little bit more snow on the ground. And there was up until yesterday when we had some rain. Temperature went up to about 5 degrees Celsius or so. So as I said, I'm going to post a link in the video description discussing the REM closures coming up here on the South Shore branch, the only branch that's open now.
Station Panama. Les portes s'ouvriront sur le côté gauche.
By the way, these windshield wipers are only for when the train's in manual mode. Yeah. Try to center it. So you can see it's not a perfect center, is it? Train's not completely straight.
Prochaine station du quartier.
You can never get bored of the REM, just like the Montreal Metro buses. If you're a transit enthusiast like me, you don't get bored of these things. This is like, I've said this to people, you know, there's some people out there that say you need a car to get around, you need a car to have a family, you need a car to do this and that. No, you don't. I mean, I grew up on public transit. I never grew up with a vehicle, and I never will need one. Even when I have a family, I'm going to be getting around by public transit. You see people biking on bike paths with their kids in the back, trailers and bicycle seats. See people all the time in the metros and buses with kids. If I really need to get somewhere where there's a vehicle that's involved, I'll take a taxi or Uber, intercity bus, train. Yeah, of course, everything has its pros and cons. Public transit isn't perfect. There needs to be more investment in public transit. And it's no secret that I am sort of anti-car. I think people, for the most part, are too addicted to their vehicles. And there are people out there that need them. You know, people that need them for work, contractors and that. People who are disabled. But there's a lot of people out there that just take their cars just to go 2 minutes away. Good health. I mean, it's not really good for the environment, not really good for anything. That's just my opinion. But is public transit perfect? No, but look, I've survived 38 years using public transit, and I see lots of families and people getting around by public transit these days. And you know, in the long run, it's cheaper. You don't have to worry about registration, maintenance, gas, all that stuff. So going back to my original point, you know, this is kind of like going for a drive or a joyride if you're somebody with a vehicle. This is the transit fans version of that. When you take bus rides, metro rides, REM rides, train rides. The Cartier station is here now. One of my favorite stations.
Station du quartier.
So Guy Cartier is also where Ryan Hector, he lives around here. So shout out to you, Ryan Hector, if you're watching, buddy.
Les portes s'ouvriront sur le côté gauche.
Brakes seem a bit squeaky, don't they? the Alstom logo, based in France. If Bombardier didn't give up the rail division, this probably would have been purely a Bombardier project.
Prochaine station, Brossard.
Very nice walkway there over the highway, and there's another beautiful little tunnel. I have a video of it on my channel or two. Leads to the movie theater and 1030 or 10:30 in French quarter sector, which is like a big shopping mall. Not really a big fan of it. See, all these areas are being developed, as you can see, and I think because of the REM, that's adding to the value of the properties and the territory. Well, look at that, there's a REM security vehicle there. What is that doing there? That's rare. Wonder what he's there for. And here we are now approaching. Oh, what's that down there? We got a fire response in the distance. So there's, of course, the REM control center and the main REM garage, where this beautiful infrastructure is all run.
Station, Brossard.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bells. More videos to come.
Les portes s'ouvriront sur le côté droit. Terminus.